The package arrived on a Tuesday morning, though I didn't know it yet. My assistant Clara called me 3 times before I finally picked up. I was knee-deep in cataloging artifacts from a Byzantine shipwreck, the kind of work that pays the bills, but doesn't exactly make your heart race. "Arden, there's something here for you," she said, her voice tight. "No return address, just your name, and it's weird. You should come see it." I wiped the dust from my hands and headed to the warehouse we used as storage. The building sat on the edge of the harbor district, surrounded by rusted shipping containers and the constant smell of salt water. Inside, Clara stood next to a workbench, staring at a wooden crate about the size of a shoebox. "That's it?" I asked. She nodded. Delivery guy said it was urgent, dropped it and left without waiting for a signature. The crate was old, made from dark wood that had weathered decades of moisture. Rope tied around it in an intricate pattern I recognized immediately. My chest tightened. Only one person tied knots like that. "Darin," I whispered. Clara frowned. "Your cousin. But he's been missing for 6 months." I grabbed a knife and carefully cut through the rope. The wood creaked as I pried open the top. Inside, nestled in black velvet, sat a bronze box. It was small, maybe 6 inches across, covered in symbols I'd never seen before. 3 concentric circles on the lid, each one etched with unusual precision. My hands trembled as I lifted it out. The metal was cold, heavier than it should have been. Along the base, scratched in Darin's handwriting, were 4 words. "Find me. Trust nothing." "What does that mean?" Clara asked, leaning closer. Before I could answer, I noticed something else. A small indentation on the side of the box, perfectly sized for a fingertip. I pressed it gently. Nothing happened. I pressed harder. Still nothing. Then I remembered. Darin and I used to leave messages for each other as kids, hidden in plain sight. We had a code. 3 taps, pause, 2 taps. I tapped the sequence on the bronze surface. The box clicked. A seam appeared around its middle, so fine I hadn't noticed it before. The top section rotated slightly, then released. Inside was a single piece of aged parchment, folded multiple times. I unfolded it carefully. It was a letter, written in Darin's rushed scrawl. "Arden, if you're reading this, I'm either dead or in serious trouble. I found something. Something that shouldn't exist. The legends about Valmorra, the lost pirate colony. They're real. I have proof. But I'm being followed. They know I'm close to finding it. I can't tell you everything here, but this box is the key. There's a second compartment. You'll need to figure out how to open it. Inside is the first piece. Trust only family. The Meridian Order is watching. They've been watching for years. Find the truth before they find you. Your brother and everything, Darin." My throat went dry. Valmorra. I'd heard the name before, whispered in academic circles and dismissed as folklore. A floating pirate stronghold from the 1600s that supposedly vanished without a trace. Most scholars considered it a myth, a story sailors told to pass time. But Darin wasn't the type to chase fairy tales. If he said it was real, he had evidence. Good evidence. Clara was reading over my shoulder. "This is insane. You think he's alive?" "I don't know." I turned the box over in my hands, searching for any sign of the second compartment. The bronze surface was seamless, except for the symbols. But if he is, he needs help. I spent the next hour examining every inch of the box. Clara brought me tools, magnifying glasses, even a UV light. Nothing revealed a hidden mechanism. Frustrated, I set it down and stepped back. That's when I saw it. The 3 circles on the lid weren't just decoration. They were a puzzle. Each circle had tiny notches along its edge, 12 in total. A combination lock. I pulled out my phone and looked at Darin's letter again. Certain words seemed emphasized, written slightly darker than the rest. I counted them. 3 words stood out. Legends. Proof. Truth. 3 words. 12 letters total. I started turning the circles, aligning the notches to spell out the positions of those letters in the alphabet. The 3rd circle clicked into place. Then the 2nd. Finally, the 1st. The bottom of the box shifted. A drawer I hadn't seen before slid open, revealing a small compartment lined with red silk. Inside was a fragment of ancient paper, brown with age. It showed part of a coastline, marked with coordinates and a single word written in Old Spanish. Entrada. Entrance. This wasn't just a map fragment. It was an invitation. Darin had found the first piece of something much larger, and now he was pulling me into it. I looked at Clara. I need to find him. She crossed her arms. You're serious about this? Pirates. Hidden colonies. This sounds like... I know how it sounds, I interrupted. But it's Darin. He wouldn't send this unless it was real. I carefully placed the map fragment back in the box and closed it. My mind was already racing through possibilities. Where would Darin have gone? What did he find? And who exactly was the Meridian Order? As I walked out of the warehouse, the bronze box tucked under my arm, I felt the weight of something much larger than treasure. This wasn't just about finding Darin anymore. This was about uncovering a secret that someone had killed to protect. The sun was setting over the harbor, casting long shadows across the water. Somewhere out there, in those shadows, Valmorra was waiting, and so was my cousin. The hunt had begun. Retry.